All right, ladies, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for Women's Enclave, Entrepreneurs Enclave, for having me here on this special yoga day. Yoga is this wonderful fusion of mind, body, and it's this thing which I have practiced for a very long time. I believe your body gets really flexible with yoga, but your mind gets even more. So welcome here. I hope you all are really safe in the space we are living in today. So please take off the next 30 minutes and be here in a mindful space. You will get that aha moment through the 30 minutes that we will be having a conversation. Before I get there, it's really wonderful to, can I request people to mute themselves off, please? I believe there's a Lalita and a Pooja that is not.
Derek, can you please mute all?
Okay, I'm just going to wait for everybody to be muted because it kind of gets difficult to talk over somebody.
सुबह 6 बजे को तो 9 बजे को तो फिर 10 बजे को फिर 12 बजे को.
Someone, Lalita, if it's a request, please mute yourself, or we'll have to remove you. I'm so sorry, but I have to say this, but it is a request, please.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mute करके. I'm mute करके.
Yeah, muting themselves.
Now can announcement pattern.
Okay, can I request the host to please mute everybody kindly?
I muted them.
একই দামেই তো কিনলাম আমি, যা এখানে 80 টাকা নেয় এও 80 টাকাই, যা এখানে একই দাম।
Okay, I think now we are all set. Can everybody hear me? Just give me a thumbs up, please, if you can hear me. Can I have a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, cool. So right from the beginning, let's have this 30 minutes of being really mindful, sharing this space. So I usually speak to very large audiences. It's on a webinar. I don't have a lot of interaction. So it's super exciting to be in a smaller crowd, smaller space, and I see this interaction. So just a few days ago, I had a very large audience of almost 400 people, and interaction becomes impossible. So be with me for the next 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Welcome. Good evening to everybody. So we know that change is the constant feature in life. Change is constant. Is the only permanent thing. And we've heard this many, many times, whether we look at what our parents said or society said, but never before has change been so amazingly different, unfamiliar. We're in completely unfamiliar territory. There is no precedent. The world has never seen anything what we are going through today. And how we adapt to change is our agility, both physical, mental, and emotional. So being agile today is probably considered even more important than, say, your IQ, your emotional quotient. How you can adapt and how agile you are is how successful you will be, how successful your life will be. And a positive life is what we are all trying to lead. But where does this all happen? It's happening in our mind. Our mind is just like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more stronger it gets and the more it expands. And the mind is like, when I say it's like a muscle, it's like how you go to the gym and you build your muscle. You can build your resilience. You can make a stronger mind. Many people think he's born strong, but nobody is born physically strong. You have to make the effort to be strong. Similarly, you have to make the effort to be mentally strong too. So it's not like I'm 6 feet tall and I'm going to remain there. In fact, I like to describe it like a leaky tire. You know, when you have a little puncture and there's a leaky tire, you have to constantly keep pumping air into it. And when I said to be mentally resilient, to be emotionally resilient, it is this ability to be able to cope with the circumstances you are being thrown in. And no life is without stress. In fact, I always say the ticket to living is this whole roller coaster ride. It's what we are all going through. But how fast we bounce back, how quickly we recover is how stronger we are. So like I said, it's like a physical strength we have. We have to keep pumping in air. One of the things I always say, what is happening out there is happening out there. How I allow that reality to filter into me is the filters of strength I create. Can I do that? Absolutely. Is there a learning there? Yes, you can learn how to be emotionally strong, how to be emotionally resilient. I think a lot of us in the group probably have heard of the very unfortunate case of suicide and a lot of depression going on, a lot of really negative thoughts today. That is emotionally resilience is what I'm talking about. How do you get stronger? How do you get mentally tough to be able to cope with this? One way definitely is by being positive. But before I get there, let me ask you a quick question. Hang on. So it's a rhetorical question, but you can put it in the chat box and it'll pop up here. Where do you live? Now, that's a very simple question. We all live in the same space. There's one common address. So where do we live? Where do you live? I don't want addresses of Bandra or Calcutta or Pune or wherever, whoever has joined in. We live in one common destination. We live in our mind. We live in our mind. The mind is the mecca of thought. Everything that's happening out there is happening out there. How I allow this to filter into me is happening here. That whole drama is happening in my mind. And a positive mind is the most important tool we can give ourselves. Can you learn to be positive? Absolutely. Is it easy? No. Is it impossible? No. So it's not easy, just like anything in life is not easy. So right here, right now, let's try and bring positivity into ourselves in the last 3 minutes that I have been speaking. So very loudly, on the count of 3, I want you to shout, I am amazing. I am amazing. I am amazing. Now, how did you feel when you said that? When you say, I am amazing in front of the mirror, at least once a day, we can allow ourselves to say that once a day. So when you do something like that, you feel completely wow. You feel energized. That is the positivity that I am talking about. To be positive, to be in your space, to be mindful. So right now, if I just ask you a question, after you said that, are you okay? All of you now. Are you okay? Most of you will say, right now, I am okay. I know that. You know why? Because I have brought you into the now. I have brought you down into the now. I've not kept you in the past or the future. Like I said, reality is unfolding all the time. Right now, you are okay. So every time you don't feel okay, bring the power of now. But before I get there, our brains are really complex machineries. When they are well oiled, they work to perfection. So it's like when we are born. When we are born, aren't we always really happy? Have you ever seen people muting themselves, please? There's somebody who's not
What time do
muted.
you open?
Please mute yourself, please.
Thank you.
Happy
So
Father's
when
Day.
you are born, you are always happy. You'll see kids are smiling and they've always got this twinkle in the eye. But over time, something happens. And these are saboteurs that are completely bombarded into us. Whether it's your family, it's relationships, it's society, it's peers, it's school, it's authority. I mean, it's endless. There are people who are always trying to tell you, you can't be like this, you shouldn't do this, you can't go out there, or you can't get that job, or you'll never get the grade, or you'll never do this. And then life happens. They're constantly at play. There is no doubt about it. We all have been through that. If you haven't, if anybody has not experienced that, I'm going to open the chat box right now. So you can say, no, I have never experienced it. So here's the chat box open. So if you have not experienced this and you have never fell down because of an outside event that's happening, then you're truly blessed. But I think there is this whole external world that is always telling us how to be. They're constantly at play. But if I'm looking at the source, where is it still all starting? It's starting in your mind. The mind, you know, your mind is not just the brain. Every cell has its own intelligence and it's all working together. So like I said, because besides IQ and EQ is the positive quotient in your brain. Now, people will say, are people born happy? And does it differ? So some people, you will say, always see the glass half full, and some will be half empty. While I say one thing really interesting, it's your glass. Go and refill it. Go and refill it. So refill your glass. You don't need to be stuck with a half empty glass. You have the power to change that. Research has shown 50% of our happiness quotient depends on our genes. 50% is a large amount. 50% is in our genes. 10% is in the life circumstances. So now that I know you all are here, I know your life circumstances are pretty good. You all are safe, you all are well, you all are here listening to me. 40% is in your actions. That is where the magic happens, in your power of thought. 40% is the actions you take to be able to live a happy life. This ability to think of your reality and to rethink your reality or where you are today, or bring power back to you. I love what William Shakespeare said in the play The Hamlet. There is nothing good or bad. It is your thinking that makes it so. There is nothing good or bad. It's just how you think that makes it so. So, I have this guru, this master. I'm still seeing somebody is unmuted themselves. Can I please request you, when you are in a webinar or a Zoom, please can you mute yourself? Because there are other people listening out here, kindly. Thank you. Please mute yourself. I'd love to see your video. The host, can I request you to please mute people?
Derek, can you please mute all?
In the words of Dr. Joseph Murphy, you have only one mind, but you have two distinct characteristics. One is a conscious mind and one is the subconscious mind. So if you look at the iceberg, you can see how small is the conscious mind, which we reveal to the world. That's what the world sees of us. And just see how much, 90% is the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is actually based on your life experiences, your beliefs, the past, everything brings about your subconscious mind, your entire belief system. You can move the slide, please. The entire belief system, like you can see your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, your life experiences, childhood experiences. Chaitali, can I please request you kindly? I am sorry, I've done 2,000 people's webinar. You need to keep people muted.
Derek is.
We have muted it.
Post,
We
yeah.
muted them, but people are unmuting themselves in between.
Can you ask, please?
Okay, sorry. I mean, so much disturbance does lose the flow. Let's bring it back to the belief system. So our belief system, you can see this little light bulb is where we are. And if you start moving outside, it shows you your life experiences, your childhood experiences, your belief systems. Now, belief systems are what? Belief systems are formed with your thought. How I think is how I'll feel and how I behave. And that's how you come to behavior. So the one analogy that I always give in the master of all, of thought, Louis Hay, is thoughts create feelings and feelings create behavior. You are a gardener. You are constantly planting seeds into your subconscious mind. Now, we are doing it in a habitual, but also an unhabitual manner. It's done in an unconscious way. So every time I'm planting a seed, it's almost like you say a tomato seed. If I plant a tomato seed, what am I going to get? A tomato plant. Am I going to get it instantly? No. It's going to take time. So when you are planting a positive thought, you need to keep on nourishing it. Allow it everything it needs. And that's when it will blossom into what you truly want in your life. So be aware of your thoughts. Your thoughts are creating your life and your reality. Every thought that I am planting is a choice I am making for my future. Thoughts are creating my feelings, remember that. And feelings are creating my reality. Like I said in the beginning, the external world out there is going to continue happening. How I allow the external world to filter into me is my power of thought. If you will notice in your house, you may be 4 people, 5 people living, everybody's realities are different. They are different. They are not the same. What somebody is feeling may be very different even in today's COVID circumstances. You can choose to live a positive life. You can come out of this stronger, better version of yourself. So every choice you're making is going into your subconscious mind and it's reaping somewhere. It's in your body or in your mind. Today, we know the psychosomatic connection between the mind and the body. We all know it. What is happening in your mind is paying off somewhere in your body. Even science is acknowledging that when you are dealing with a disease or you're not feeling well, what's the one thing that your doctor always asks you? Are you stressed? Because this is the mecca of thought. This is where it's all starting from. If I decide I'm okay, well, then I am okay. 90% of that is okay. I'm fine. I'm going to share with you a lot of real examples with researchers. To Dr. Robert Rosenthal, with a school principal, did this. He did the Pygmalion effect. He said, can other people's beliefs, can other people's thoughts that we can do really well with our life influence us? So he took this study into a school. And he did this study in a very, very simple way. He told the school teacher, a class teacher, that in your class of say 40, 50 kids, you have 5 super bright kids who are going to be geniuses. He shared the names with the teachers, but they were not super kids. They were just normal kids who were picked like a lottery system. They tested the IQ of those 40 kids before, and then they tested the IQ after 1 year. Because the teacher thought these kids are brilliant, in a very unconscious way, not wanting to do this, they probably paid a certain kinder, softer attention to them. And here is what I'm showing you on the chart, the Pygmalion effect. When you influence somebody in a nice, happy way, there is an impact you create in the person. And this gets reinforced. When they tested these kids after 1 year, each one of them outperformed themselves. And that is when the belief systems of others in us, if somebody is giving you that belief system, if it's positive, allow it. And if it's negative and you feel it has no space in your life, take it off. It's not worth it. It has no space there. So now, just the way I'm explaining to you these belief systems, and you're welcome to write in to me, we've all been through this. We have constantly been exposed to somebody who says, you can't do this, or girls can't do that, or this is not the role a person should play. So write 2 positive and 2 negative things that have impacted your life. Anything. Just write it down or think about it. 2 positive and 2 negative things. I'm giving you a minute for that. Think about it. Anything, whatever comes to your mind, the 2 things that have impacted you. Okay. I'm a huge believer of Louise Hay. So a little bit about me. I'm a master certified trainer by Louise Hay. I'm a life coach by Stephen Covey. I'm a master of Reiki. I believe in silver mind control, Sean Archer. I love yoga. So I love this whole concept of bettering ourselves and our lives. And we owe it to ourselves. We are responsible for all our experiences. Do you think that's true? We are responsible for all our experiences. Now, when I say this statement, we've all been hurt before. Okay? So say we got really badly hurt. So let's make it physical. We got really badly hurt. And we were meant to be taken to the hospital. Right then, you have a choice of letting that experience be horrible and blaming it and playing victim, or just shifting your attitude in this experience. You may finally go to the doctor or the hospital. You may finally need to get the treatment. But your attitude will give you your experience. So when you are shifting that attitude, when you're moving that attitude from blaming or playing victim, or why did this happen to me? How did I get hurt? Your entire experience changes. So even today, we are all in 3 months lockdown in our spaces. We are all trying to be better versions of ourselves. The fact that you're like here, you're taking a step to be better. So you will remember this experience maybe as a lockdown, but you will also remember this experience for what you have tried to bring into it. Our thoughts create our reality. Very powerful statement. How I'm thinking right now is creating my reality at the moment. How you think you have the power. You are constantly creating your reality. Like I said, 4 people in a house, 4 are having different versions of the same reality, of exactly the same reality. I can have somebody sitting right next to me, and how he's experiencing this whole reality, because it's happening here, could be completely different. So I want a thumbs up in the chat box if you are understanding what I'm saying. Whether the thoughts, what we are creating is shifting our experiences, and it's also creating our reality. Whether the shifting of attitude, of whether I want to keep in that space, I can bring more power to me. Viktor Frankl is a Holocaust survivor. Nobody can be in a worse situation than a Holocaust. We've all read about the Holocaust. We've all seen what is the Holocaust. He said in one of his last memoirs, he called the last of the human freedom, and this is when he was going through the Holocaust, is the power and the freedom to choose one's attitude. I need to choose the attitude towards any experience I'm having, towards my life I'm having. That power I need. So like a remote, do I want to give you the power to my happiness, or do I want to keep it to myself? Keep the power to yourself. Keep the power to yourself. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. So when you're having a negative thought, is it very, very difficult to change it? No. Is it easy? No. So let's try this together, okay? All of you, hello, everybody out there, I want you to hold your hands like that in front of you. So I can see a few people on the screen. I want you to hold your hands up like that, and I want you to clap. Clap and clasp. Now see your dominant thumb. My dominant thumb is the left one, okay? Very quickly. 1, 2, 3, clap again. Now I want you to try clapping and having the second thumb, the other thumb dominant. So 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to shift it a little, and I'm going to put my right hand. Again, 1, 2, 3, it's the other hand. It took a bit of conscious thinking to change. Was it impossible? I'm sure everybody said it's not impossible. Was it difficult? Maybe. So that's a small habit we can continuously tweak. Change it, little habits. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. So your thought is also in a habit loop. You having the same recurrent thought. We have 60,000 thoughts in a day. That's a lot of thinking. How many of them are serving you well? How many are positive? How many are negative? Be aware. If it's negative, it doesn't have space in your life. It's not making you happier. Are we meant to be happy? Absolutely. Totally. Can somebody else make you happy? Yes. But who's the first person that can make you happy? You yourself. You owe it to yourself to make yourself happy. So when we resolve negative emotions, we free ourselves from everything, and we welcome a positive future. In my live workshops, this is such a powerful statement, especially among women. So I just did a beautiful one for the Women's Empowerment from Sheikh Zayed University in Abu Dhabi. Okay, so this was something that really hit home a lot of people, because they say, how do you resolve negative emotions? People are always going to say things to you. Things are going to always happen. Those things will always happen. Do you want to go into a loop and keep thinking of the negative emotion? So do you have a mobile phone next to you? I want you to pick up your mobile phone. I have my mobile phone here. I want you to pick up your mobile phone and raise it up to the ceiling. It's light, right? The mobile phone is not heavy. We use it, whatever, 20 hours a day. Let's raise it up, 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 up to the ceiling. Now, if I told you to just hold this mobile phone, which must be about 200, 300 grams, maybe even less, for the next 1 hour, will my hand pain? Yes, it will. That's the negative baggage, the emotional baggage we carry around. Put it down, leave it. It does not have space. Have we had perfect childhoods? Yes, but also no. Have we had perfect relationships? Yes and no. Is life perfect? Yes and no. Do I sit in the perfection, or do I keep on picking on things that are not perfect? That choice is in my hands. So now I want a thumbs up, because I want to see how much of a difference I've made to you on this statement. When we resolve negative emotions, we free ourselves. How many of you are committing to do that? I want a little thumbs up in the chat box. I'm going to open it in a minute. And when we really, really love ourselves, everything works. I love what Sadhguru says. The first breath we take is our first breath that says we are alive. And the last thing we do is the last breath that leaves our body. The first relationship we are having is with ourselves. You owe it to yourself. So I'm seeing a lot of names out here. So I'm going to start calling it Seema, Lalita, Chaitali, and many more. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to make yourself happy. Nobody else can make you happy. It is in your hand. So when we really, really love ourselves, everything in our life works. I am living with my thoughts. which are converting to feelings. My thoughts are continuously converting to feelings. How I think is how I feel about myself. So if I say, you're super good, that gives me a smile on my face. Do I need validation from the world outside? Yes, we do like to be appreciated. Of course we do. But do we need to be so dependent on the world outside? Think about it. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we need to validate ourselves and appreciate ourselves for the best job we are doing. We have limited capacities and capabilities, right? We are not superhuman, so don't try to be. So my thoughts are creating my feeling. My feeling is creating a behavior, and then it goes back into a thinking. So it becomes a round circle. Feelings create behavior, thoughts create feelings, behavior reinforces the thoughts. So where does it start from? It starts from the thoughts. My thoughts are creating my feeling. So the thought cycle is a little upside down. My thoughts should be on top actually. Why is it upside down? No idea. Sorry, we will correct that. Thoughts create feelings, feelings create behavior, behavior reinforces the thoughts. So where does it all start from again? It starts from your mind. Do you think that your conscious mind is leading you, or is it your unconscious, subconscious mind? We all think we are logical human beings and we are running the show. But I'll tell you, it's your subconscious mind that is running the show. So everything that's happening out there is happening from some past belief system. So look at that. See whether your thoughts are creating the right feelings and your feelings are creating the right behavior. And if you want to change that, where do you have to go? You have to go right on the top of it all. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, please. Now, I want you to not think of the color red. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Do not think of the color red. Now open your eyes. 1, 2, 3. How many thought of the color red? Can I have some participation here? Did everybody think of the color red, or could you keep it out of your mind? That is the power of when I say something no. Do not think of the color red. If you've thought of the color red, write red. And if you haven't, don't. Kept it out. Fantastic. Mayuri, Bhasin, very good. Fabulous. So when I said do not, most of the time we do exactly that. That is the power of negative. When somebody says you can't do something, we actually believe that. When somebody says no to you, you take that. Negative beliefs have such a big play. So Richard Wiseman was this researcher. And he said, let me try this out. And he asked people, do you think you're lucky? So in your mind, I just want you to think, do you think you're lucky? And not so lucky. So if you thought you're lucky or not so lucky. Now, he divided the group into two. He divided it into lucky and not so lucky. He distributed newspapers to all of them. And he asked a simple question. How many advertisements are there in the papers? Now here's the magic thing what happened. The lucky group took less than 10 to 20 seconds. And the not so lucky group took up to 2 minutes. Now you'll wonder why. It's the same newspaper distributed. On the second page of the newspaper, there was a large advertisement that said, there are 42 advertisements in this paper today. There are 42 advertisements in this paper today. Tell it to the researcher and you will get a prize. So the lucky was tuned in. When you think good things are going to come to you, they will. The lucky group was tuned into this. They were tuned into receiving. So they saw that, and the not so lucky started counting the advertisements in the paper. Now, again, I think I'm very lucky. I think I'm a parking queen. So I can go into the craziest bazaar and I will get parking. So my driver will be screaming, "You can't get parking there, ma'am." And I'll say, "No, I will." Because I'm tuned into it, I call myself the parking queen. So please understand, your thoughts are continuously creating your reality. If you want something, believe it's already happening to you. Don't keep wanting it, because if you're wanting it, then you will keep wanting it. Bring it to the today. Bring it to the now. You want to be happy? Don't keep wanting it. Be happy now. So, if you really understood what I said, now how many people think they are going to win the lottery? The lottery is a metaphor. It's for whatever you want in your life. It could be a new job, it could be a promotion, it could be a better relationship, anything. A lottery is a metaphor. Now, how many of you think you are going to win the lottery? So here I'm going to give a little pause. Me, I got me's coming in here, but only two me's. Now, what happens right here besides the red and besides the advertisement? There is one commonality between everybody that will win the lottery. One commonality, one thing. Let's see how smart you all are. One thing that comes into play. You need to buy the ticket, dear. Go and buy the ticket. The ticket is the actions to win the lottery. The ticket is the actions to be physically healthy. The ticket is the actions to whatever you want. You want something in your life, you'll have to walk the talk. You'll have to walk the steps for it. We are dealt the cards in our life. These cards that we have, they are already dealt to us. Whether it's parents, school, interaction, family, everything. How I organize these cards is the power I bring to myself on a constant basis. That's the power I bring to myself. So if I want the lottery, then I need to buy the ticket and I need to take the actions. Okay. Here is a very, very, very interesting thing. So before I get there, now that you know your belief systems, I want you to change the two negatives that you had to positives. Any two negative things that you thought, I want you to change them to positives. So forever and ever and ever, and literally forever and ever and ever, I wanted to run the marathon. And all I ever got from everybody around me is, you're asthmatic, you're not a runner, you can't run the marathon. Somewhere last year, I decided, no, I am preaching this, I need to walk the talk. Okay, so I made a very, very, very conscious effort. Like I said, I have to buy the ticket, right? The ticket has to be bought. I bought the ticket. I started practicing to run the marathon. First, it was 500 meters. It built up over time. And somewhere last year, I decided I will run the marathon. After maybe 1 or 2 years of doing the half kilometer to 5 kilometers. This January, I ran the marathon as a proof to myself that your mind is stronger than anything. So I was asthmatic. I was not totally, fully physically fit. I'm not an athlete, but I know it starts there. It always starts there. Okay. So when I say it starts there, a Japanese researcher blindfolded 13 students. Now see how the power of the mind is going to affect people. He took their left hand, and he rubbed it with a harmless shrub. A shrub is like harmless kotmir, pudina, mint, anything, okay? He rubbed the left hand with a harmless shrub, but he told all the 13 students, this is poison ivy. Poison ivy is a very, very, very allergic plant. When he told them it's poison ivy, what happened was their mind was reacting to the fact that it is poison ivy. And that's exactly what happened. They produced the reaction of poison ivy. All of them had the allergic reaction of poison ivy, even though it was a harmless shrub. Now, he took the right hand and he rubbed the right hand with poison ivy and he told them it's a harmless shrub. So guess what happened here? Only 2 people had a reaction. Poison ivy gave no reaction to the balance 11 people. Only 2 people have it. That is how strong your mind is. Your mind is that strong that it almost changes the reality. So is it important to be mentally and emotionally strong? I can give you 100 reasons. 100 reasons why you need to be strong. 1, mental strength helps you learn from your mistakes. Instead of blaming yourself, if I'm mentally strong and emotionally strong, if somebody says, this was not correct or that was not correct, I can take it in my stride. I can take it in my stride. I will not be so affected. So definitely you will learn from your mistakes. You can correct them if they are wrong and you can move in life. Mental strength, emotional strength gives you the courage to face adversity. Have we all faced adversity? Absolutely. Are we going through something completely crazy even today? Yes, we are. So here I use this one thing. One thing is to be safe. Please be safe. Okay, so this is not the time when I'm saying don't be safe. Be safe. But do you let fear rule your life? Have you allowed an irrational fear to rule your life? So when you have the courage to face your fears, fears are in our belief systems. It's what our parents said. People have fears of so many different things. They have fears of their future. Like I said, right now you are okay. What happened in the past happened in the past. What is going to happen in the future is out there in the future. It is not here today. So wait. Do not be so bogged down with fear. What will happen to XYZ? What will happen if something happens? It's okay. We will deal with it when we came. Can you imagine if somebody told you in January that 3 months we will be in lockdown? You would have said, impossible. I cannot deal with that. But we have dealt with it. You are listening to this. I'm seeing all the participants still here. I can see somebody like Janvi Chaitali looking very, very much into the camera and quite happy with herself. So mental strength gives you the courage to face your fears. So I have something interesting to leave you back here with. It's called ABCD. You can use this always. It's called adversity, belief, consequence, disputation. So there is an adversity. Anything that happens wrong in your life, there is a belief system that somebody has told you. So people have these belief systems that money is hard. I have to work really hard for my money. Relationships are so difficult. Love never is fruitful. We have so many belief systems that are there. Now, these are the consequences if you dispute it. Think of the consequences if those belief systems are providing to you. And then go ahead and dispute it if you don't think they have space today. So the ABCD, you can write to me. I'll send you a lot of information on that. Mental strength also gives you how to manage your emotions. It's happened, it's gone. I'm here today. I need to manage myself. I need to bring myself into a center. You're doing this on yoga day. Please practice yoga. Practice just a simple thing like pranayam, the power of breath. Take a deep breath and release. Take a deep breath and release. And that's how you will manage your emotions. Also, do you have the power to walk out of your something that's negative? Yes. Why are we stuck in a chair? I don't like something that's happening around me. I have the power to leave that emotion. I have the power to leave that negative space. And if you can't do it physically, where do you do it? Do it mentally. We live here. This is where the drama is happening. So if you physically, geographically cannot change the location, at least vacate it in your mind. Mental strength allows you to tune out of criticism and unhelpful advice. So In short, the happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. I love Tal Ben Shahar. I've talked about a lot of gurus out here, masters out here that I've been trained with. And now to conclude, a positive mind is the fuel we require to live life to its fullest. Let's lead our life and not let life lead us. So before we part, I want you to look at all the workshops that we've done. I do this beautiful webinar called Positive Psych, Dare to Dream. We all have dreams. Honoring Boundaries, wonderful workshop on relationships. And especially because now we are sharing so much space with all our loved ones. The next one, move the slide, please. This is the tips and techniques on how to build mental resilience. Please, there are lots and lots of tips and techniques I have to share with you on how to build your mental resilience. I will be sending you an email. Write to me, follow me. I'm always posting on Instagram. I'm sure all of you are on Instagram. Follow me on Farhana_Vohra. Write to us on Meraki.in. Be on our website. You will receive a lot of helpful material. Be part of the webinars that I'm constantly doing. And for the last time, I want you all to shout. Once again, please unmute everybody, Derek. Can I ask the host to unmute everybody? Unmute everybody. I want you guys to shout at the loudest voice. So I can hear it this time. Unmute everybody. I am amazing.
I am amazing.
Sorry. I'm going to shout louder and I want you guys to shout and I want your hands up there. I am amazing.
I am amazing.
Okay, on the count of 3, loudly. 1, 2, 3. I am
Amazing.
I am amazing.
Namaste. Thank you so much. You've been a wonderful audience. I hope to have you be connected with you all always. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Farhana. We have a couple of feedback for you. Vaishali saying, I'm super motivated to shift our negative thoughts. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for the awesome experience. Then Radha is saying, I am fat. I change it to, I am attractive.
I'm my ideal weight. When you say I'm fat, you need to change it to I am on my ideal weight. I love my body. Bring it to now. Bring it to now. Everything has to be brought to now. If there's any questions, please ask me. I'm very happy to answer questions.
Sumati is saying, I will win.
You'll always win. I will always win.
Neha says, thanks for motivational points. Mayuri says, that was fabulous, Farhana. So any
Thank you very
questions
much.
from anybody, you can ask. Seema Malhotra says the webinar was great. She's from Delhi.
Okay, good. Thanks, Seema, for being here. Thank you very much. All of you can reach me.
What you if you are mocked for your fatty figure? Sneha is asking.
Ideal weight.
Neha is asking what? Just ask the question again. I didn't hear it.
If you mocked for your fatty figure.
Okay, that's somebody, what somebody is saying out there. Should I turn it into my reality? Please don't. If somebody is mocking you for something like that, leave it out there. Like I said, there's always somebody going to tell you something you can't do or you shouldn't do. It's a constant thing. And if you're doing it, there's always going to be somebody who will say, oh, why are you trying to lose weight, Sneha? For what? Do you want to be in a certain size today? Do you really think that's the age for you to wear that? So there's always going to be people out there. Please reach out to me, Sneha. DM me privately. Okay, send me a message, follow me. Let's have a conversation. All of my contacts are right there.
Let me tell you, Farhana, Sneha, who has asked this question, she is a successful choreographer. Okay, she is the only one person who had taken senior citizens to various, shows actually.
Okay.
Okay, this is television shows, and she has her own academy, and she is doing wonderful. She's very successful.
Fine, then why should it let you bother
That's
you?
what she should not bother.
You should not let anything bother you. Do you think,
So
do
I
you
think,
think people don't say things to me? No, for a moment, Sneha. Do you think people don't say things to me? Constantly. Absolutely. People are always saying things to you. You know, like I showed you that little island. This is where I am. This is me. There is a circle around me, which could be people who completely love me, could be my family. Then create another circle, which is an outer family and friends, and a very large circle. The more the distance away from you is, the more power I bring to myself. Me, myself. Finally, who is going to really feel the pain of me? Only me. Only me. When you're happy, when are you truly, truly happy? Is when you feel it from your heart. Do not let the outside external world affect you so much. The external world. Your reality is here. Is here. Keep it to yourself. More power to you. Okay. Anything else?
So thank you, Farhana. It was lovely session, wonderful session, and thank you for your time. You have taken us your valuable time for us, because I mean, this is a very small group, but I'm extremely happy that you're here today.
Thank you so much. Namaste. My soul sees yours always, and I bow down. Thank you very much on Yoga Day to be wonderfully in a session with all you lovely ladies. Thank you,
Thank you,
Chaitali, for
Farhana.
inviting me.
Thank you.
Bye, dear. Bye.
So moving on